What's up, everybody? This video is going to be exclusively for the Discord, the VIP section, that later in the future, how it will be conducted whenever, I want to explain something specific, it will be towards the VIP section. Right now, it's going to be in the free chat, only on Discord, not on YouTube, not on TikTok or anything, all the social medias. So what we discussed today in Discord was about how to react to news or how to trade with smart money based off of the news of what they trade. So for example, this a lot of times what smart money will do in order to stay out of regulations of governments, they will either sell into positive news or buy into negative news. The reason they do this is because they do not want to get what do I call? Because they got one time where they got charged, I think it was like $800 million collaborated between different banks, so-called manipulation in the market. So now these times of how they make their excuses is when news comes out positive, they will sell because they have a balance sheet, and that balance sheet is public to their company. So no matter what, it's going to be there available. They can't hide it. So it'll show, when they took a trade or when they got out of a trade or this and that. So when they start selling into positive news, they'll do it in increments, and they'll do that in a way where it's not too much shown, and at the same time they can grab liquidity. It's about liquidity for them more than it is about anything. So for example, you had today, I'm going to show the example of that. We had news come out at 8:30 in the morning. Right here was PPI news. This is a major news event, and also yesterday was CPI news, was also a major news event. So if we are looking at these types of news events, we need to see the volume in these news events. So right now, when we had a breakout today, for example, I'm going to give the example of today. When we had a breakout of this zone right here, all this area right here, it was on the 1 hour candle. This 1 hour candle break happened before the news came out. When the news started to come out, we started to see a bearish reaction to that news on gold, for example. But you had a break above. This is more than likely smart money attracting retail traders in order to buy into this move so they can sell their liquidity to them. So for example, let's say they were long from throughout this position from here. They need to sell their position, and they cannot sell their position in one shot lot because they will make price drop really quickly. So they will sell into the news because there's more liquidity into that news event. So for example, what I am seeing right now in this example is a 50% of this bar was almost closed on a bearish reaction from this bullish push up. If this was buying with all this volume that came in, this volume right here, if this was buying, we should have had at least another candle to the upside plus a close, be it right here or higher. We should have had a bullish candle. That would indicate that there was a lot of buying in this. This reaction does not indicate that. Now, you say to me, for example, price is starting to go back up. That's correct. Now, this looks like more like to me in a different subject. This is retest. We're coming up to this area. There's a lot of low volume coming into this area. Time of day is not helping it. We might have price break above here, consolidate a little bit, and then I would expect price to come back down, at least back to this zone to retest this area. And that is basically how you would trade a liquidity grab off of news. Another example would have been on the coronavirus so-called situation. It was the choppiness, and this is not something I would have touched. I did not touch it anyways. I'm just telling you, is because it just dropped too fast, and it's not my type of thing where I could actually control this kind of thing. But volume did indicate to us that it was done. So what happened is this is the fear of that March 2020 from the coronavirus spread in the world, and people started to talk about it. This push down from the break of this was starting to indicate, because volume started to kick in, that there is also buying in these areas. They were buying here, because that's why you had reactions like this. They were buying here. You had reactions like this, and it never came back below this area, and then it reached to 2000 level. We all know what happened after that. So whenever you see some kind of news event and the media or the banks and stuff like that are saying, buy gold or this and like that, be very cautious. And I personally go against that once they start really pushing it in the media. I'll show later in the future more examples on that. And that is pretty much it. Again, do not trade this move that is happening right here unless we get confirmation that this right here is not a bullish up move, and that will should tell us by tomorrow. And that's pretty much it.